How's it going, guys? Deans here and welcome to another FIFA 20 video. Today we are going to be looking at the brand new season objective that EA have released today, and that's around a wants to watch player, and it will reward you with a wants to watch NDombele, which is an absolute incredible thing from EA to do. I'm absolutely excited to get this one done. It's going to be really good. We've got 8 different objectives we need to get through to get us this free card. I highly recommend doing it because why would you not want a free want to watch player? So let's take a look at the first objective we have to do here. Score a finesse goal using a player in their debut match on Squad Battles Minimum Professional. That's not too hard a one to do, to be honest with you. For that one, the best thing I could say for you to do is just maybe build a squad, get your front three, whatever formation you go with, and just nothing but finesse shots until you get that one in. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Professional is not too hard a difficulty to play on, but that one should come quite nicely. Some of the moves. So, win 4 squad battles matches using at least 1 Dutch, 1 French, and 1 Belgian player on world class. So this one will be a little bit more difficult for those that aren't so experienced in playing single players. I pretty much always play on world class, if not legendary. So this one I'm not too worried about for myself. The best advice I can give you if you're playing on world class, for one, is pick your easiest squad. So go on squad battles, update it if you need to. The brilliant thing this year is you can update your squad as many times as you want to, so you can just keep updating until you get the easiest squad. It shouldn't take you too long to do it, but you've got 4 squad battles matches you need to do this in, so bear that in mind. Just playing the game slowly. There's quite a few brilliant cheap players you can use for Dutch, French and Belgium, so not too bad a one there. Score a goal using Premier League player and 4 set rivals wins. This one will come quite naturally, but a lot of people I think have Premier League teams, so this one shouldn't be too bad. Just get some nice Premier League strikers. Some of the ones I'm kind of using at the moment, so I've got Permanent Pookie. If you've managed to pick him up, then that's an absolute brilliant shout. Rashford is the other striker I'm using at the moment. Maybe Jamie Vardy, Juan Jesus. There's a few pretty brilliant players that you could pick up to make that one quite easy for you. Parisian talent, win 4 rivals matches using at least 2 French players. That one, again, my squad has 2 French players in. A lot of people use French players in foot, so this one shouldn't be too hard. It's just 4 rivals games in the time you've got, but not too difficult a one. Just keep playing rivals games until you get there. It shouldn't be too difficult a one to do. This one actually is a very easy way to do this. Score 20 goals in any foot game mode. So if you've got a friend, just literally invite them to a game, play a quick game of kickoff, and just score 20 goals against each other. Have your friend back out if you need to. What you probably could do with it being 20 goals, you probably won't get this done in one game, but you probably won't need to back out either. You probably will in about the length of a game get 20 goals in. So literally just play a friend and just let them pass the ball to you, get them to move their goalkeeper out of the way and shoot straight in the goal, and that one should come with pretty much ease. Score 2 goals using Ligue 1 conformer players in 3 separate rivals matches. Again, you just need to use some Ligue 1 players. There's some really good ones, so if you can afford it, like players like Depay is really good. Ben Yedder, he's probably going to be up in price a little bit because he's in one to watch right now, but Ben Yedder and Depay are pretty good shouts for that one. I have been using a little bit of a Premier League and a Ligue 1 squad, so there are a few really good options you can get that are actually quite cheap. Talvin's actually a pretty good player that's actually quite cheap, so I'd recommend maybe picking him up to use that one. Assist 10 separate rivals matches using a player whose default position is midfield. So this one, you have to, it could pretty much be a midfielder. I'm guessing, I want to say that you could move them to striker. I feel like you'd be able to move this striker. It's saying whose default position is midfielder. So default position is before position changes. So that kind of indicates that you could move them to striker if you absolutely want to. So what could be a really good shout for that one is pick up some really all-round good players. So NDombele is maybe a good shout. There's a few good ones like Sissoko as well from Premier League. I'm trying to think of some Premier League ones. But maybe what might be worth doing is just moving to maybe a 2-striker formation and just literally surrounding yourself in nothing but players and midfielders and convert some of them to striker. And maybe that will help you out a little bit. It shouldn't be too hard to do. 10 separate assists is, well, it has to be 1 assist in 10 different matches. So that one's a bit, it's going to take a bit of grinding to do, but is not a terrible one. And finally, pinpoint accuracy. Score a goal from a cross in 3 separate squad battles matches on minimum semi-pro. So for me, this one is a bit of a nightmare because for me, crosses are not brilliant. I hate doing them. I can't score headers, but it's on semi-pro, so it might not be as hard as maybe you'd think. On semi-pro, you kind of can get around your opponent pretty easily. So just get on with that one as quickly as you can and try and just keep crossing, I'd say. The best thing I'd say to do, well, it's got to be on semi-pro, so I probably recommend doing that on semi-pro if you're like me and not so confident with doing crosses. But if you are a lot more confident, then there is, of course, the objective to score finesse in professionals. So maybe while you're doing that, once you've scored your finesse or once you've scored a cross, do the other one. But let's take a quick look into some of the players you could pick up. So I want to take a look at the League Unconformer ones. Now, there's quite a few players that you probably could pick up for this one. This is my Premier League side, so just before we do look at some of that, so I do usually have... Who did I have that was another French player? I did have another French player in here. I can't remember who it was. I had someone else that was French, so it might be worth... What I'd probably do is I'd probably replace maybe either Torreira or Ndidi with Sissoko, and that will be the squad I use for here. And this should be able to get on with a few objectives. But as for Ligue 1 players, who have I got in my squad from Ligue 1? That's Syria, completely wrong league. Ligue 1. So we've got Talvin. Again, this guy, he's an absolute beast. I bought one earlier to use, and I've packed him since, so I haven't really played with this one. But not a bad card at all to use. Ours, not a bad shout as well. The one I was saying about moving your players to striker and whatnot. That's not a terrible one to go with. If you want to go with like cheap players as well, you've got this Ndombele. But Talvin's really good. If you have got a lot of coins, then you're going to be able to obviously go for the players like Mbappe. That's kind of a given. I might pick up Mbappe if I can. Let's just head over to the transfer market and just take a quick look. Ligue 1 Conformer, Gold. Same for this. We'll look at French as well because there are some of them that you need French players. So we've got this Ben Yedder here. He's obviously going to be going for a lot at the moment with him being one to watch. But Ben Yedder's a shout if you have normal Ben Yedder. There's a lot of non-rares in here, which I'm probably not looking at this the best way. So I'll look at concepts and see what we could possibly come up with. Concepts, French. So Mbappe, again, is obviously a big shout. If you can afford Mbappe or if you have Mbappe, big shout there. Ben Yedder's a big one. Talvin. Payet's not a terrible shout. Again, for assists, that's not a bad one to pick up, I don't think. But quite a few players there that might be not too bad to pick up. But yeah, what else was there in the objectives that we want to just take a quick little look at that might be worthwhile, just kind of seeing what would help. So that one is literally, you can do this one alongside doing the finesse one. So where was the finesse one? Trying to find the finesse shot one. Summer moves. No, so this one. Score a finesse goal. I don't know why I thought it was two separate ones. So score a finesse goal using a player in the debut match. That one isn't too difficult to do. Is there another one that requires professional? It's world class. So you could do these two together pretty much. If you're going for this one, I'd recommend doing them together because it's going to save you games. Bulk these up together. So you got one Dutch, one French, one Belgium. Just put them all in the same squad. You could maybe, if you have a lot of coins, this is talking like if you've got a lot of coins, even if you maybe utilize loans as well. Loan Hazard, Griezmann, and De Jong, all from La Liga. That pretty much solves that, and on world class, it's going to make things a lot easier for you as well. Score a finesse with one of them on the if they're on debut as well, and you're pretty sorted to get those two done pretty quickly. Score a goal using Premier League players and force a rival win. So like the squad I've got pretty much a Premier League squad. So it shouldn't take me too long to get that one as it's my main squad. 4 rivals using these 2 French players. Those two, again, these two here. As long as you have 2 French players, so like I will be doing, I'll have Ndombele in my squad. And I'll probably pick up Sissoko as well. They'll come together, which is nice. Score 2 goals using Ligue 1 Conformer players. This one, again, you can probably sub on a player if you really want to do this as quickly as possible, and if you want to kind of mash them together just to get it done in as few games as possible. Sub on some Ligue 1 players, and that should make it not too bad. In fact, what you probably could do is Ligue 1 players could be your French players. So I don't know, maybe get if you can afford maybe Lacazette as a French player as well, so he links nicely, and get a French Ligue 1 player. You can try and do it with those two in those few games. Assist 10 separate rivals matches in the player's default position. And like I said, this one, I'll probably move a lot of my midfielders, some of them up to striker, just so that I've got nothing but midfielders. All I have to do then is just pass around. And finally, score from a cross. So just literally do nothing but crossing in semi-pro. And that is probably going to be that summed up. Now, you've only got 9 days to do this, so I do recommend do not hold off to get this because you don't want to regret missing out on this card. It's an excellent free card for you to be able to pick up, so definitely do not hold off doing these games, getting done as soon as possible. But that is going to be it for the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like. If you're running, be sure to subscribe. Let me know if there are any questions you have for these players, for any of these objectives in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer those for you. But that's going to be it for the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.